So when you're eating food, you can actually see, it'll show you how much stamina or energy it's going to give you back. Fish for right now is pretty much the highest you can get as far as how much it refills, so that's pretty good. I'm just going to eat the seaweed just because I don't really need it right now. And we'll unlock another scope. So I'm really not too sure what I want to go with. Jewelry would be nice. The amulets give you increased experience gain, I believe. So that's a possibility, but I really think if I'm trying to get to the automation, I'm going to end up needing to go with craftsman. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, the royal sea and the royal clothing I won't be using anytime soon. Yep, there's automation. So unlocks mining rods, crafted items collect themselves, which means basically anything that you craft at like the forge or the smelter, or I guess it's a furnace, will just automatically get picked up. So you don't have to actually pick it up. And then physics unlocks power plants. Power plants are nice, but we don't really need them anytime soon, so we won't be worried about that. So I want to check. The next pickaxe I can make is the bone pickaxe. I need iron ingots, brick, and bone. Bones you get by digging, which we don't have access to a shovel yet, or by killing skeletons, and we don't have skeletons yet, so it'll be a little while. I'm trying to remember what you gotta do to get access to the shovel. Can we make a backpack yet? No, we need more thread, and we need more fiber. Where is all the fiber? Oops. So yeah, now I kill the slimes in about 2 hits. I think it was about 4 hits before. And I get more jelly when I do kill them, which is nice. Although, once you make the slime pickaxe, I don't even remember what else you use jelly for. So, it's one of those resources that just kind of piles up. I know you can sell it if you get the markets. I don't think it sells for that much, but you can sell it. I know you do use it for other stuff later on, I just don't remember what. Alright, sweet. There's some fiber. And make some coal. Stay away from you, slime. So yeah, like I said, slimes are pretty easy to avoid. The only time they really hurt you is if you just ignore them and don't kill them, and then you're just doing something, not paying attention, and they will jump on you. And basically anything that hits you, it'll do one heart of damage. And I think that's true for basically the whole game. Later on in the game, there is stuff you can get that'll actually increase the amount of hearts you have, and you can increase the amount of stamina that you have, which is pretty nice. But it'll be a little while before we get there. Just clearing out all the resources. Killing slimes. Getting hungry again. The more you do stuff, the faster your energy drops. Which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, once you got the fish traps going, you have more than enough food. So you really don't need to worry about it. Speaking of, I'm going to go ahead and put down a couple more. We'll just have this whole little area be our fishing area. You get quite a bit of experience for building that stuff. Alright, let's see. So we want to do the automation for sure. And that opens up engineering. All structures work 25% faster, unlocks the druids, the droids, and unlocks EMP grenades. I've never used the EMP grenades, but the droids are nice. They're just expensive. Manufacturing. All structures have 20% chance to craft double items, which is pretty good. And unlocks factories. Factories are good. You use them to make some stuff that you need for later on. Early on, I don't know that you can even really do anything with the factories because you need oil. flower press. The flower press is pretty nice. But again, I don't know that we need that right now. The thing I'll get next is probably storage. Because I have a feeling I'm going to need it pretty soon. Let's check. Yeah, I've only got 3 inventory spaces. Once I make this backpack, that'll help a little bit. Sweet. So I made a bunch of coal. Get out of here, slime. So now I'm going to make some gold. Let's see how much we can make. We'll make half that. Make some gold, and we'll start making some coins so we can get some new items. And there's the backpack. So, small backpack adds 4 inventory slots, which doesn't seem like much, but it definitely helps. And then now, I believe it's the large backpack should be available. Medium backpack. So that takes 4 leather, 4 thread, and 8 jelly. We've got plenty of jelly. So leather, we need hide to make leather. And for hide you need, I think they're cows, which we haven't seen any cows yet. Some of the resources, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it seems like as you unlock more islands, more resources start spawning. So I think once we get a couple more islands, we'll start getting the cows to spawn. There's also chickens that can spawn that we haven't seen yet. So right now, just basically trying to keep all the resources fairly clear. We'll see how much iron we can make. Make half that. And we'll start making some coins. Make 8. We'll go ahead and make them all. So for every coin that the forage makes, I believe they're worth 4. We'll see. Nope, they're worth 8, which is pretty good. So actually, after that, we should have enough to buy another island. And I need to check and see how much mining rods cost. So the mining rods take 2 steel and 8 brick. We don't have any steel yet, so we need to work on that. Mining rods make this game so much easier. Then it kind of becomes a passive. You can stand around and still get stuff. Type thing, which is pretty good. As you unlock more islands, early on when you just have 1 or 2 islands, it's not hard to keep all the resources clear. But as you get more and more islands, it becomes pretty hard to actually keep all your resources clear. So to make the steel, we need gold. I'm gonna go ahead and make all the gold I can. And I guess that means I should stop spending it on coins for right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and make all the thread I can. I want to say the fiber, the only thing you really use that on is thread. So there's really no harm in just making all of it. Yeah, fairy princess queen thing, you're going to be waiting a while. Nowhere near having enough to give her 1,000 coins. And I'm hungry again. It's funny, most of the time, the only time I really take damage in this game is generally I end up hurting myself because I'll run out of stamina. I'll keep doing stuff, I just won't be paying attention. Other than that, damage is pretty easy to avoid. It's not really a combat-intense game. There is later on, like when you start getting to the islands that have skeletons on them, and there's some islands that have demons on them. It gets a little bit worse, but for the most part, damage is easily avoided. Get out of here, slime. Alright, so I want to make steel. I think I needed 2 of them. I can only make 1. So steel takes quite a bit. It takes 8 iron ingots, 8 gold ingots, and 8 coal. So it's pretty... I'm sorry, it takes 4 of each. But it's pretty resource intensive. make any of this stuff yet? So for the first gloves, we need iron, we need thread, and we need bone. We don't have bones yet. We need thread and iron for jelly. We've got plenty of jelly for the boots, so we should be able to get to those pretty soon. I'll just make all the thread I can. Now typically when I put down the mining rods, I like to have, a clear island that doesn't have a big ass fairy fountain on it is definitely more efficient. So it's kind of unfortunate that this is the second island that we opened up. But I might try to buy another island before I actually put down any of the mining rods. So I know I need more iron. Like half of it. Get out of here, slime. Now the nice thing about slimes, at least, I don't know if this is true for all monsters, but they can't actually hurt you unless they land on you. So you can run into them, whatever, it's not going to hurt you. You just can't let them jump on you. Which, that's nice. Because it can be kind of hard to get right up next to them. To be able to hit them without actually running into them. So we should be leveling up here in a second. Make some gold. We're gonna have to make some more coal. We really need fiber. I think I'm gonna have to unlock foraging to get more fiber to spawn. Which I might do that now. We're still doing okay on inventory. So let's see, yeah, we could do the storage, but like I said, we're still doing okay on inventory. We've got a few slots. Coinage isn't bad. The forages create 4 extra coins every time, so instead of them creating 8, they would create 12, which is pretty nice if you're trying to really maximize the amount of coins you're getting, and if you're trying to really kind of rush getting the islands. But right now, I think we really need more cotton to spawn, so we're going to go ahead and get foraging. This will also unlock the beets, which is another food source, which is nice. And that opens up wood cutting, which trees drop 50% more wood. Meh, it's okay. Not the greatest, not the worst. And then gathering. Gain 4 inventory slots, which is nice. And then gain 25% more XP from plants and crops. Crops, we don't really have crops yet. I mean, I think that counts for when you harvest beets, but we're not to the point where we're actually doing any farming. You can actually do farming, you can plant crops a little bit later on. I typically, what I've played of it before, I haven't really done too much farming. So, I don't know, I think they plan on making that a bigger aspect at some point, but right now it's not that big of a deal. Alright, I need to eat something. Just get rid of those oranges. And then, I believe, yeah, we need some coal. We'll go ahead and we'll make 20 of them. Now you can double up on your furnaces and your forges and all that stuff. Early on I try not to though, because I'm kind of limited on the amount of space I have. So the more space you use for buildings, the less places you have for resources to spawn. Which is kind of like what I was talking about, where you want, for like your mining rods, you want to put them on an open island, ideally, in the beginning, because more resources are actually going to spawn there. And I should actually have enough to where I can buy another island. I'm going to go to the left. Well, that is a shit island. But it's got a treasure chest on it, so that's cool. There's just no actual land there. I was kind of hoping to get a bigger island that we could put a mining rod on. But it looks like we might just end up putting a mining rod on one of these islands. Okay, so I just got a gem there. So yeah, like I was saying, as you open up more islands, I believe that's when more resources start to spawn. This is wheat. And the gems do come in handy. You use them to make the amulets, which we haven't unlocked yet. Get out of here, slime. So, let's see. I wanted to make some steel. How many can we make? Just one. Okay, one it is. I think that's all we needed, though. For... I don't even remember what I was trying to make with it. Oh yeah, the mining rods. How much do they take? Yeah, they take 2 steel and 8 brick. So, yep. And we've got one of them. So, we'll finish that up, and we'll make a brick, and then we'll put a mining rod down. And then we'll venture over and get that chest. So we need 8. Go ahead and make 12. Get out of here, slime. So this is a beet. Beets you use for cooking recipes if you unlock the cooking stuff. I typically don't early on, just because I like to get automation going. But eventually, I will. But you can eat them raw, they don't have to be cooked. Which, I'll probably do that now. Eat this seaweed up, just to get out of my inventory. Yeah, I think next we're going to have to unlock the vaults, because my inventory's already starting to get full. I guess the other option would be we can unlock the gathering perk, which gives us inventory slots. Oh hey, a chicken spawned. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the way it works is as you unlock more islands, more resources start becoming available. So that's cool. Chickens, they don't do too much. You can kill them for meat, or if you let them live, occasionally you'll be able to walk up to them and press E on them, and they'll give you an egg. Or 2 eggs, I don't remember what it is. But again, the eggs I think are just used for cooking. You don't typically really use them early on. Alright, so we should have enough stuff for a mining rod now. I really don't know where I want to put this, because I don't have any good spots. So you see how it's got a little circle? That's actually the range for where it can harvest. I could do it like right around the center here. At some point there is a perk you can get that makes it to where mining rods have a larger area. But that's a little ways off. I really don't know where I want to put this thing. We got kind of shit islands for this, unfortunately. I could... no, definitely don't want to do it over there. I think for maximum coverage, right about there is probably as good as we can get. So if you watch it, see, it'll zap things. And each time it zaps them, it does a little bit of health. It's completely random, and oddly enough, it doesn't zap the same thing like right in a row. So it's kind of weird. It'll take a little bit of time for it to start clearing stuff, but once it does, it'll keep this area fairly clear. You can get I was just gonna get that, but you can get another skill that will make it to where they do more damage, which is nice. Slimes, get out of here. Now the mining rods will not attack the slimes, so you still have to worry about those for right now. You can unlock ballistas, I believe, which will attack enemies, but we won't be doing that anytime soon. I don't think. Maybe. We'll see. There's a level, and my inventory's full, so that's an issue.